every city basically.
Greetings, awesome beings. I tried to play something and Bernie jumped in and pushed something and nothing played. So, Bernie, you're going to have to beatbox an intro for us.
Oh goodness gracious.
Remember, guys.
I just messed it all up. There we go.
Cool.
We're at after school right now. I guess
all right,
no
welcome everyone. So maybe we'll do something different, and we'll have a random, what's it called if it's not an intro, an intermedio.
Just a random in between.
All right. All right, here we got Tracy Lee, hello, Jill, Usu, Richard, Ryzak, Pamela Stupa, Angel Wings, and Andrea 73, Sue Ashwell from Australia, hello, Northwest Queensland, Sherry Ives, hello, hope you bought the chocolate, Kiwi MacArthur, Esley, I am Kairos, Tom Whelan, Battle Station BS, oh nice, good name, good morning. And everyone else who is in the chat, thank you all for being here and spending some time with us. And we have a show. We actually do have a show. Bernie actually has notes, guys. We're getting professional. Last time we had a chat with Paul, and we did our first Tartaria reactors video, which I'm still working on the card. I've got a bit of work to do because it's a bad recording, but in that, I think we realized that we needed to be more professional. So Bernie has taken that on board, and we have a piece of paper with words on it.
I've been taking notes. And sadly, I can't beatbox today because I'm at Amber's place because both my parents still have COVID. So I've been having to isolate away from them for the last week. But they're getting better, so it's good.
Allegedly.
Yes. I'm still drinking my water and have yet to catch it, so that's a good thing. Welcome to all of the new subscribers that I got today. Thank you, Dutch Since. Literally doubled my subscriber count in one day. So thank you.
Yes,
and it's the one epic episode when we
I've got to say that really is. Yeah, well, I've got to say, that was my shout out, Mr. Sins. Oh my God.
Oh.
Hey, Duke.
I'm sure it will come when we're going over all the star forts.
No, that's awesome. Yeah, I saw that. So you're at 2222.
I was. Now I'm actually 80. I'm 80 subscribers away from 3,000. I was gonna do like a 2,000 subscriber little stream this afternoon, and then went all the way up to 222, and now I'm almost at 3,000 again. So hooray! But you've got a bunch of you mapped out a bunch of star forts to look at today.
If you're a new sub and you're on one of Bernie's channels, make sure you come across and sub to Autodidactic as well.
Indeed, always.
Take that, Dutch Synth.
Oh no! It's where he wants you and Paul as well. It's gonna be a 4-way discussion on star forts and mapping. He even wants to talk about flat Earth, which that's your department, not mine. So you're an essential part there, Cam. Don't even doubt yourself.
Whoa. Nice, yes, and so we've got a few people lined up. We're going to get Paul Cook back on again. He's been enjoying the chats and Dutch Sense, and we're going to have a Science of Sound roundtable soon in the next couple of months. So lots coming up, and we've got some star forts as well to look at today, amongst other things.
Indeed, right? You've got a bunch of star forts planned out. Jared Booster, I wasn't able to. He didn't get back to me this week, so hopefully he's in line for next week. And then I'm finally going to. We should do another episode. I'll try to get it. Well, I just gotta get a hold of Harry Hubbard, and for our Egypt in America, episode number 2. But today we can take a little look. Have you heard of the Pharaoh of Niagara Falls? There was an Egyptian pharaoh found in Niagara Falls, and it was even repatriated back to Egypt. And it popped up in the Andreas Zertis show, and it was Zertis that showed me about it. So
okay.
I've even got a clip of
Was
that.
were they also the ones? Were they also talking about the Alabaster Sphinx that was found down south in a swamp? Was that Zertis as well? I can't remember.
I'm not sure. I don't even know if I've heard of that one.
Yeah,
there's just so many Egypt
Sphinx
in America.
Exactly, and there's a channel called Egypt is America, or America is Egypt, something like that. Egypt and America sitting in a tree, something, you know. Hippie Shake, how you going? Welcome.
Indeed. So do you want to start off with some of the star forts you had mapped?
Would we start forts? All right, let us do some star forts. Do you want to do that, or what have you got up your sleeve?
Yeah, let's take a look at that first. And after that, we'll play a couple clips.
Okay, so here we go. To the Googles of Earths. And so as you can see, this American, we sort of went through the Caribbean a couple of weeks ago. But as you can see, there's a big line pretty much down the east coast here of star forts. So where should we start? We'll start up here. So where
up north in Canada, eh?
Is this Canada or is that?
Yeah,
oh, that is it.
You're right in Quebec okay. There. You're starting off in Quebecois.
So this is not USA.
And maybe someday it might not be Canada because they apparently want to separate still. I don't know.
Oh, really? Well, it's still French, isn't it? Yeah, it's strange. Yeah, I mean, I've marked this. What do you think? What do you reckon? Is that the remains of a star? We've got all these. What do you think?
Always the airport looking around. Oh, yeah, that's definitely a battery.
Well, that's the other thing.
Right next to a runway.
It's got this sort of, is this a golf course? Yeah, golf course, state, and it's all there, right? The state park. And I think the stars need to just be out of the way, but yeah. So that I just mark because whenever I find a star, always sort of.
Is that Pearson International, or was that like a military one right next to it? That's kind of crazy. Why is there a golf course right next to it too, hey? It must be Pearson. Huge.
Airport Mansfield? Is that say Mansfield? Can't read it.
Oh. Maybe I'm wrong. Or are we in Canada? I thought we were in Quebec.
Montreal.
I guess. Yeah, it is Montreal.
Montreal, yeah.
Yeah, so that would be the Pearson.
I mean, and that whole layout looks, it just looks very old world. We've got the island, we've got the rivers, but anyway, let's go to Fort Montgomery, so not far away, and we have a star. You can see quite clearly there. It's got, obviously, that needs a bit of gardening, but clearly the stars sitting out there on the water.
And that you can see the runes going into the shore there too. Like what looks like a massive seawall or barrier.
That bit there. Might be even some blocks there, but I mean, being on the water here, and of course, the first thing I always do is go straight across the river, because star forts are always built on, if they're on the water, they're always on both banks. So, I mean, I don't know. Is there remnants here? Could be.
Right there. Built up.
Yeah, I know. It was a bit suspicious. I mean, it looks like a foundation in the ground there, right?
Yeah, so we're
is
gonna
that?
have to check like the old
And then
maps to go back and
there's
see
another
if they
point.
maybe claimed there was a fort there before. And then it's like, how did it get that destroyed already?
And I mean, they just sort of love to build over stuff. It doesn't. This is all sort of obviously brand new, sort of new world stuff. But this, these funny little bits. They just. There's not much left, but it just kind of looks, just this shape, right?
Oh
Doesn't
yeah,
look
like that's
natural.
total looks artificial
So,
built. And I think the
so
whole,
you get
if
this
this
stuff
is the
everywhere.
St. Lawrence Seaway, it's pretty much a canal the whole way through with different interlocking locks in it and whatnot.
Yeah, right. So it goes. Yeah, right. Okay.
Oh,
Yeah, it
that's a
comes
canal
from
off of the St.
up
Lawrence,
here,
and that's Montreal in the middle. Yeah.
then down through, yeah, like a hole there, like another big lake, and then no doubt it pops out the end. But is that it there? Yeah, it is. Okay. It keeps going, then it. Woohoo. So yeah, I mean, but this, I mean, you can see that there's been a lot of earth changes around this kind of area, a lot of sunken
Yeah,
stuff.
look at that.
Now is this New York? I mean, look at this bit here.
That is
See that?
fascinating, eh?
It comes all the way down here.
Need Randall
It's
Carlson to
far,
go
isn't it?
over that.
Yeah. I mean,
Like,
are they? What are they, man? Are they?
right? And
What
look
the
at the
hell is that?
river
They
going.
can't be rounded off here, can they? It looks like they're sort of, like rounded hills, like massive greenhouse tent kind of things, arches, but they can't be. What's that? Water? A lake?
What? Oh, that's got to be a dam. That's clearly a dam. Yeah. Hydro dam right there.
So that
So that
must
would
be
be
a
at the
low point. So
bottom.
maybe it just
Oh, so
looks,
these are the
maybe
high
they're
points
valleys, but
then. Yeah, they're just massive scraped out valley hills. That's strange how long they
and that's
are.
low and that's high.
Looks like massive leftover
Yeah.
tidal waves. Kind of like how you had in of like ripples of like sand or dirt or
Yeah, it looks like, a huge bit
yeah,
of water's
blood
come down.
going
Yeah,
through
like
it.
you see in the ocean, in the beach shore. Just ridiculous.
Very
And it
interesting
kind of, look at this,
terrain.
it kind of keeps going all the way down here, right? See it? Whee! And it kind of looks like it just all finished here somewhere. So it's right across the whole, right across half the
Yeah,
US.
separating the East Coast from the Midwest, I guess, whatever that area is. Oh, I guess like it's like the Charlotte Mountains and all of that range through North South Carolina.
It's this.
That's
Right,
just how
right, so this
uniform it
is
was, though. It's very strange.
very strange. So New York, this is Fort Tyrone. We had a look at this in a live stream, I think, wasn't it? I did a couple of weeks ago. You can see this is
Yeah,
clearly a
we had a
photo taken from a satellite.
right. Looks like Minecraft or like
I
SimCity or
know,
something.
right? That's just dumb. But that's that's the starport there. But if we come down here, I mean, you can see, we've got again the islands, the canals, all the stuff. But of course, this was a starport, and they still call it the Battery. No doubt everyone's seen this. Oh, come on, Google Earth. So they've wiped it out, but we've got the maps with it. But you can sort of see that there was something down here, right? There's all these weird shapes, and it's completely all man-made
Yeah, and
shorelines,
it
but then
looks
out
like one
here,
triangle bastion. There's a battery right there across. So there used to be an identical one on the other side of the island
so
there.
exactly, that's exactly. So there was one right there. So they always do it, don't they? And it's interesting, because we do call this a current, right?
Current running
And then of
between the
course your,
batteries.
another star port. Between the batteries, yeah, exactly.
And the amount of
Statue of Liberty, and then a man.
the
Island.
tidal flow and just the flow, because that's like a bay coming from the rivers and canal, made a major artery through. Like that's a lot of current going back and forth through there.
Mm. Yeah, exactly. So they were harvesting it somehow. So New York, definitely an old world city. And then we just start to get this line
Yeah, right. Look
of
at how far in that
stars.
is. Okay, it's still on. Is that the same river
So
or
this is
canal system? How far down is that, or off the ocean? Yeah, it's the
so
same river.
it comes
It's
up to
the
here,
same canal waterway.
up there.
The
Yeah, it's part of the same, but it looks like it's one splits off there and the other one comes here. So it comes from the same source. But yeah, this is Fort Mifflin. As you can see, a nice little star fort, little rocket ship with its moat almost intact. You can see again here as well. This, there was
yeah, the
clearly
little
more here,
bridges of it.
and of
And then
course, again,
once
right,
again, the
star fort, one of
airport
our
right next
airport.
to it.
Right? Look at this bit, right? What's that?
Total battery left over. 100%. Or
And it's just the
rampart,
same all
sorry,
the
the
time.
rampart
It's
or the
all
pedal, that's what that's called. The rampart or the pedal. Oh, right, look at that. Like the little moat waterway canals like separated through it.
yeah, yeah, yep. And so, what is on the other side of the water? A golf course, of course, right?
And dug out right there next to the golf course. Why does the golf course have a harbor? That just makes no sense.
It doesn't. Well,
Because
it's
look,
for the
there's
rich people to
even like,
park their boats. Come on, rich people
oh,
don't
there's
drive
half of
cars
that
to the golf.
running left. Weird.
See? No. What do you reckon? And also see on the inside, see how we've got this bit here that's sunken and kind of the same. Well, it's kind of in the same spot.
Yeah, and then go out towards the
Foundation, but that
river a little bit more, Campbell. Right, so right there, look, this like seawall that's still
yeah,
there, the barrier connecting the actual river canal, like, and then go across, you can see that, no, other way, right there, look, that it's still on, right there on the other side of that inlet. So like, why are those two walls right there?
yeah,
No, other side, my friend. That's a plot processing plant right there. There
yeah.
you go. See the two dikes, the walls on either side. Those are clearly man-made. And then it's like, why is there just this harbor with those
Well,
walls there for a golf course? It makes zero sense because clearly that's
and look
man-made.
at
And
this
then yeah,
massive
one half of
circle.
that circle still
Right?
intact. The other half you can see the remains of it.
Well, remember that book we were looking at last week of Denmark, and all the
Yeah.
cities had, all the star cities literally had like big harbors inside the cities, didn't they? And they were like this, all walled off with
Exactly.
gates, and then you'd come in and go through to other
That's
bits. And
exactly what I'm seeing there.
look at
For
this,
sure.
Square Lake.
And these other like square harbor things
And
off of it, like that, and right next to it
little
too, like
ones, golf and tennis.
They don't make them in
Yeah, I mean, I was
rectangles.
just thinking,
Nature doesn't make rectangles when it comes to water.
no, so that's a man-made lake, like literally 3 meters from the water, and it's for a golf. I mean, it's for a golf course. That doesn't make sense. But again, here, right, we've got remnants of canals. See up here? Oh, it's called the main ditch.
The main ditch.
Right, so that you can see up here, and then where does it go? To a big triangle shape, right? Look at this.
Look at that. Yeah.
So
massive.
And what that is, for anyone watching this, there's big foundations under the ground where the plants can't grow, and they grow next to it. And for some reason, they always grow on the borders, and it could be just energy, right? That they're giving off energy. But you can see here, clearly looks like the top of a star, right? See how it even goes out to there?
100%, and you're bang on with that. That's where the foundation starts, and that the plants can't grow off of that foundation or on top of it.
And so this looks just like, an old flooded out. Oh, here's another canal. See, same thing that we see in all these old maps. So we're gonna have to find an old map of, gosh, where USA. I don't know where we are. Chicago or something. I don't know. Where's Fort Mifflin? Delaware. Wendy, Delaware.
Fort Delaware.
Is that New York
Fort
State?
Delaware,
Maybe?
Yeah, exactly. Right. Is finding the oldest maps of them when they were in that star designs and infrastructure and overlay them, and I bet you we could find some ridiculous archaeological ruins all over the place.
Look at this.
Right? Between a bunch of other oh, look at that ancient canal system.
Maybe not, but that definitely
looks like it. And then
I mean, I'm marking that one.
Old World, Florida today, their stream that was a couple hours before this, they were going over and talking about the canal system, that the Old World canal system around, and seawall that completely surrounds all of Florida. And that's exactly the same system that this is, like the old star water canal system, where the entire world used to be Venice. Not just Venice, every city was Venice.
Yeah, exactly.
Some triangular quarries there.
Is that an old canal system?
Looks like mining.
An old canal
quarry.
It does, yeah. What are they quarrying, right? I mean, just I don't know. So there's lots of places like that, and we don't know, but there's definitely got some features that look starry, shall we say, and so many of them seem to be mines these days. But I mean, that you can see, like, that just jumps out at you, right? It even goes around here. See that?
Right, and the canals, and like, look at those four different colored pond lakes there too at the end of the canals. That's exactly the sort of system in Denmark, like in the Netherlands, where it still exists. And it's like, it's just city all around it now, and of course, with those things remaining, like mining. Looks like another quarry.
Or is it just maybe a holding yard? But it looks like mining. Yeah, exactly. So and that's clearly a star. So this is what they're doing. They're bloody quarrying the old stars. Fort Delaware. All right. Complete remote on an island.
A mode on an island, on a man-made island, that you can see the entire structure of it made too.
So of course, what's on this side? Let's have a look. Is it a fort? Okay, so it's military base. Can't see
Right,
much.
and
Oh, and
so
then,
it's
oh,
a
I
military
caught
base with
what's
what looks
here.
like a quarry. Look at
Bloody
that, a
mine.
quarry and a military base, and then it's like the military base looks like bare bones, but how deep do the star forts go? How deep in that old fort foundation are they?
Exactly. And look at this, because there's a military base, no doubt they've claimed all this area as their practice ground, whatever, which means no one can go to any of this place, which looks like it's
Right,
probably
but
the
like
old sunken,
look at this.
again,
This is
right, canals and
natural.
stuff.
And like that's natural mud and stuff coming on, and then still the canals that are going up out of that muck area, but you can see the natural formation of the erosions and inlets compared to those rectangle ones that were next to the golf courses everywhere.
Yeah, just weird shapes, just everywhere. So that's one side. So we got our fort. So what's on the other side? Again, right? Another bloody quarry. And this as well. What's this? I mean, that looks kind of a little bit sussish. And then down here, this is all, well, again, right, big canal, man-made stuff. Don't know what this is. Looks like it's another, I don't know, what's that? Quarry
Right?
State Park.
The foundation of an old fort, what most likely looks like.
It does. It looks like there was a couple on this side, doesn't it?
It truly does.
So, and then
And
look
the
at this
fact is
man-made
that
canal,
man-made
right?
island
It is.
Starfort one in between the two almost can guarantee that there was.
There would be, yeah, it would have been a big connection across. It was like a jumper fort or jumper star. And then, yeah, just man-made canals everywhere, right? Off it goes again. So, you know, we're starting to see that this, well, here you go, right? This canal, right, comes through here, into here, and then we have another star here. And this one's a good one, Fort McHenry. Most people have seen that.
Oh yeah,
Cool.
look at that.
Should we go down there? Let's see if we can have a look at Fort McHenry. So a bit of red brick around, right?
A lot of red brick. Can we get closer to the bastions on that and see, like, they just, I'm trying to look at it from a military perspective, and it's like they just don't really make sense. Maybe.
I'm on top of it. I don't want to be on top of it.
That's a lot of brick going into the ground.
It is, isn't it? It's
And like, why would they make it out of brick instead of just dirt? Like, from a plausibility of like how the military works today and just digging trenches, like for the hills
so
and
there
how
you go.
over.
Here's our point. Here's our cannon. And just so we know, they leave the cannonball so we know it shoots cannonballs. It's not like they're trying to, you know, link cannonballs to cannons or tell a story.
Right, like the barbell
this is
ones
the
and those
pointy bit.
plug ones we saw in the last engraving, like in
Yeah,
our last
those
screen.
barbell ones. Wasn't that freaky? But this pointy bit, this is the whole explanation of Starfort is this pointy bit is so that when you shoot a cannon at it, I mean, what are they, what, I don't even know what they're trying to say. Basically, they try and say that it deflects it off or something, do they? Or it makes it harder to hit and easier to defend, but no, it doesn't.
It's just shattered brick flying everywhere instead of like dirt that would absorb it and like grass going flying at you. I don't know.
Well, exactly. Yeah, you know, earthen walls would just literally, they just absorb the cannonballs, but brick, no. And this as well, you can see, there's a lot more covered up under the ground here. This would be a brick wall just like this one. And we somehow changed view.
That's part of the scam, is they're all still military forts or heritage military, so there's no way anybody would be able to get like a legal permit to excavate or dig or do a archaeological dig even on it, because it's all military.
Exactly. So across the river we have definitely man-made shorelines, lots of funny little triangles that don't really need to be there.
Hey, Stellium, would you like me to email you the link? And I will be back in 1 minute, good Campbell, sir.
Oh, okay. Just leave me all alone again. Okay, so this side, okay, now this is good. Look at this, we've got a lake on the water. I mean, what's this about? We've got a big car park. Is this a mine? Looks like we've got that looks like a quarry. And the whole thing, I don't know, what is it? Like a big docks or something, I guess. But so this is just weird. But again, the quarry, right? What are they quarrying? Because look at this funny shape in the ground. There's all these sort of funny telltale signs, and even around here you can see there's all these, these old buildings or something, old foundations, funny pointy bits just everywhere, right? And then even across here, remnants of water. So I mean, clearly there's no star here, but look at the build out across that they've done to it. Across here, which would be direct across from it. Oh, that's what we looked at. It looks like probably some old star there, but again, just completely, built over. And down here, even this looks, pretty man-made, this shoreline, doesn't it? And more golf courses and all this kind of stuff. So that is that Delaware? That's Baltimore. There you go. Fort McHenry in Baltimore. If we keep going down, we got Fort Monroe. And this is a cool one. Look at this. Moated star.
Still moated.
Right on the water. Yeah, still moated. It's a good one. And, again, you
definitely got to start
stuff around.
And we got to start getting the old maps and overlaying them on the modern now, because I guarantee we're going to find some hidden gems all over the place.
And look, what's going on with the picture here? What are you hiding from me? Look at this. Can you see that?
Right? Active military base, so they won't let you zoom in. But look at how big that is. Look at how many buildings there are on there, and that it's still moated today.
Yeah, that's huge, isn't it?
And
it's still completely moated.
Like that, how big is it from one side to another?
It's almost on an island, isn't it?
Like, can we measure from one side to the other?
Yeah.
I'm just wondering, in comparison to like the Saudi Arabian Palm Islands and stuff like that.
It's 684 at the widest point.
684 meters at the widest.
By about 600.
So that's over a square kilometer in size. And that's a man-made island. And like, if we zoom back in on it, Campbell, look, there's like 3 wall layers of like brick on it in between it and that moat. So think of like the amount of logistics that would have to build this is probably more complex than the Saudi Arabian Palm Islands or like the Chinese like Barrier Reef islands. that what this would actually take to build it to this precision and size. Because like that's all walled brick, that's all stonework, that's a completely artificial island in there.
Yeah, and it's still there, right? With a moat. I mean, who knows how much longer later, where all these Palm Islands and that, they have to constantly keep pushing the sand back and stuff and doing maintenance whilst they wash away.
Right, and like look at this, there's like houses and then there's like walls of like previous layers of this fort completely outside of it. Wow.
Pretty cool.
Or is it all just a giant military base still, I guess? Probably.
It is another man-made. What is that? An airport? What is that? Apart from a man-made island, right? Let's see. Got to be star remains here. Yeah, look at this big wall. See this big man-made seawall here? Yeah, look at that. That's a clear. You know, that's exactly like the one that we see in Russia in the northern, which was the old Tartarian Sea up there in Russia. Yeah,
identical.
Wow. Yeah, identical. Literally, it's just sort of missing a bit of the back half of the wall here, but
yeah, like that's clearly remnants of the fort on the other side. So it would have been built at the same time as that other fort on the other side, which then implies that these two islands were also that old because the other one's connected to it. Like, why the heck else is that other one there? Like,
well, and then look what we have here, this massive inlet, and behind it, canals, right, going off. And of course, airport there.
Like, clearly they're going to claim that it's all modern made, but it's like, no, we need to get these ancient maps now, the old maps, the first maps of them, all the star maps, and start overlaying. And oh man, it's going to be exciting what we're going to find, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, look at this. Let's see this wall here. Down here, we've got our little starry bits. And I don't know, but down the bottom here, we've got this. And that to me, see, just that shape. Looks very Star 40. The fact that it's been built over its next one, of course. And an airport, it's just a giveaway almost these days, isn't it? It's like, seriously, but that probably is what happened, right? They got their little playbook and it's like, all right, well, here's something we got to hide. Okay, what's it going to be? A quarry, an airport, a golf course, or a national park?
Right, exactly. Their little paper cut blueprint, one size fits all. See, look at this. Look at that seawall. Look at that entire seawall. That is artificially made seawall down the entire coast.
And that would be an old entrance, right? Again, like we were seeing in those star cities in Denmark, right? You can see that's clearly an old entranceway. And then, look at these walls. Look at that. Another entranceway. But, I mean, what the hell, man?
And like, this is exactly what goes around all of Florida, too.
Yeah. So it's almost the whole way down the coast. Up there, look at this, all the way down. Keeps going. Then, of course, just where there's an entrance, what do we have?
A star fort.
So, of course, what would be, there must have been something here at some point.
Just fascinating.
Isn't it? When you start to look at it with old eyes, I mean, this is, and you can see it's been flooded, right? You can almost see how you can see almost the old canals still here, but under the ocean.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly.
And it almost, Is that underwater?
Some of it is, some of it isn't.
Underwater, this?
That
Or it's supposed to be sort of like a coral kind of thing, is it?
Yeah, like I think it depends on the tide or also the season, because it's a river, like water flow coming out that it's like a floodplain essentially, right? So, but it's also where things deposit, the sediment deposits and builds up, and that's why it would be forming the way it is. And then the question is like, yeah, no, like how deep it is, and then how it just like some of those canal channels just end, that it looks like it was dredged at some point, but then the fact that it doesn't look like it's coherent in this day and age, that it is most likely ancient dredging that happened there, not anything necessarily recent like they would probably claim. Because, like, look at those canal channels. They literally... Oop, and we lost Campbell. We have lost Campbell again. All right. Well, while we wait for Campbell to get back, it's one of the random intervals. Alright, I thought I played the longer one. It was the shorter one, but usually Campbell would be back by now, but he's not. So let's play the longer one until he does return, hopefully.
Every city basically was a star city. It had these stars around them, but they were all walled, but also somatic shapes. These are the moats, we're told, right? Because we're all taught that castles and, you know, were these square buildings with a moat. But when we can see them from above, there's these intricate somatic patterns, and clearly you can see why we call them star forts, because they look like stars.
So here's one in Portugal, one of the star forts, the huge amount of terraforming around it. Amazingly, this one is still in pretty much pristine condition compared to the destruction of most of the ones you find today.
Piano notes. As you can see, these are all somatic. A sharp, B, C, and they're all these somatic shapes. These are cathedral windows, this fine here. These are, you know, rose windows, or all in cathedrals. And these are somatic patterns, which are created through frequency, so either harmonics or intention. Down here we have, this is our DNA, so these are fractals or somatic patterns of our DNA. This is what we get when it's good intention. We get these perfect, you know, geometrical shapes, and when it's bad intention, we get this goop. So this is like a polluted river, and this is like a clean river. And so if we tie this back to the cathedrals that have got these windows, and they're connected to the ether with all these spires, and then what else do we have in cathedrals but these things called organs, right? I mean, we have these things called organs in our body, and we just, the DNA, you know, somatic is the same as some frequencies in these windows. So what this is all looking like is these are you know, healing factories, or not even healing, wellness, I guess, just to keep people well. They're pumping out frequencies
can literally Google any city of the old world from the 1600s and back, and it will come up in these starport shapes, and every single one is like Venice, and there's canals everywhere. Those were the highways of the time, but they were also so much more, with all of like this hidden technology, infrastructure, and buried history.
And you can see this one again, always these big cathedrals in the cities, but here's one of the stars, right, or batteries attached into the wall. And there's even another one of these more sort of big regular shaped ones out here, but they always have these stars attached, you know, to these star cities. And again, the canals, and you know, you can see this is a big island kind of thing as well. But the thing is with water's free energy. You know, you float a boat, you use the current, right? The current.
How about the water wheel? What are water wheels? Water wheels are harnessing electrical power. Electricity just as much as it was the physical power and mechanical power that they used out of it. What's to say that windmills and water wheels weren't actually generating hydroelectric and wind power a few 500 years ago?
This is a drawing. This is New York City, right? Battery Park is because this is what was there, a battery.
Oh, okay, I'm back. Apparently Campbell still isn't back. So while we wait for Campbell, I've got a couple videos preloaded. This one right here, out of all of the free energy devices, majority of them, I suspect, as well as my electrical engineers friends, that most are bunk and frauds, but there are several out there that look very promising, and this one right here is one of the most, and it has to do with how the magnets are aligned in it, and as for a perpetual magnetic motor. Let me know what you guys and girls think of this one. I muted it there just to explain this foundation that he's showing here, where he's drilling in this V-gate that he calls it, the alignment. This is one of his videos from about 5 months ago, where in fact I've been watching him for several years, where he started with just a magnetic line, like a rail gun, and then evolved it through several different modifications and designs to get up to this one with this V-wheel that he calls, with these neodymium magnets. And that there's also now several more advanced designs that are also now on his channel. This is Daniel's Inventions. I will put the link in the description for everyone. Another thing being the ball bearings he used there to cut down on the amount of friction as the wheel rolls.
Black Diamond Combo. Just open and enjoy. Black.
Well, I'll cut it off on stupid YouTube ads. Basically, everybody saw the principle that was being displayed there, and that anyone who is interested, I've posted the link in the live chat. Next up, while we wait for Campbell to hopefully return, hopefully there wasn't some issue with his internet power or health or safety, so praying on you getting back here, Campbell. I'm going to share the Andreas Zertis McCanada episode that I was part of last week and go over the portion of the Pharaoh of Niagara Falls. And this is something that I'm going to look into a lot more and put a full episode together on, or segment on, in our next Is America Egypt series episode. But for now, without further ado, let's take a look at the Niagara Pharaoh for all of you.
Oh, did I just read that they reclaimed it? Egypt reclaimed the Pharaoh of Niagara Falls.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I didn't know this. Okay, so Egypt. So this has happened 2002. I mean, that's what it is. But
a little late there, bud.
Yeah, I mean, hey. But the Mummy Niagara Falls. So Niagara Falls gets some weird sometimes. Back in 1800s, the Niagara Falls Museum opened in Canada. It had a lot of odd things, including
it's on the Canada side.
Yeah. Of course. And that's right. Niagara Falls was home to a pharaoh for about 140 years. An overlooked fact about Niagara Falls Museum was its brief move over to the U.S. side of the border. In other words, Ramses I, pharaoh of Egypt, spent time on both sides of Niagara Falls. This is a story that very few people know, and if you're interested in details, I recommend the article by the Welland Tribune. So I mean, there's a bunch of people. I mean, yeah, you have to go way back.
And Egypt has reclaimed this mummy, so it's officially Egyptian. Yet they refuse to rewrite the history.
It's not even just that; it's a pharaoh.
Yeah, exactly.
It was Ramses. Who's Ramses the First? Right? Let's remember Ramses the First. Ra, Moses, son of Ra, who was associated with the 19th dynasty and connected with Moses and Akhenaten, right? This is in the Bible. They say this is the pharaoh that went up against Moses. And so this is the mummy that supposedly came with Joseph Smith when they robbed the crypt. So, I mean, there's a lot of weird stuff about Oak Island, because Oak Island is supposed to be, this, not just that it has magic or gold, but also like radiation and it kills people. It's somehow trapped and everything. And one of the X's on the treasure map is to go to Oak Island.
Huh.
Zertis, have you ever heard of the Medicine Hat Badlands Guardians?
No, what's that?
You should look that up right now, because I'm going to be exploring it the next.
Weird, it even kicked me out temporarily, but I'm back. Hopefully Campbell gets back. Very strange. In the meantime, while these technical difficulties are working out, I will go over the Medicine Hat Badlands Guardians. This one right here being the Inca dragon head, I believe, or dragon crown, or fire crown, sorry, the Incan or Mayan fire crown Badland Guardian in Medicine Hat. And then, of course, the main native face of the Medicine Hat Badlands Guardians, that guy right there. And you can actually see the GPS coordinates for that. Anybody can check it out on Google Earth. Here's another image of the guy at a different time of season, but in this one you can actually see what appears to be a giant Olmec head off of the top right portion of the native's head, as well as right above what looks like almost a troll or maybe a Viking or something of the sort, a smaller crowned head, and possibly on the right what might look like a Mao or Mue, a sort of Easter Island sort of guy on there. Also, apparently there are these giant balls in the Medicine Hat Badlands Guardian area. This picture supposedly was taken in the same area as these guys. So in the next week, it's supposed to be next weekend, not this upcoming weekend, but the second weekend of October, we will finally be doing our trip out to the Medicine Hat Badlands so that we can check these guys out. Earlier today, I was on Google Earth and we checked the size and scale of it. It's about 1 kilometer from the chin of the bottom face to the eyebrow of the top Olmec head there, and about 500 meters diameter across the section there of that hill of the faces. So not too big of an area, manageable enough that I should be able to check it out with the drone and hopefully find some of these guys. Along with it, this guy, I guess, is a little bit further up in the valley from the rest of these main featured Badland Guardians there. And then also there's these radials, the geoglyphs, as Farham of the Farham Foundation calls them. And what these geoglyphs are, actually, while Cam is not here, we can switch over to my account. Pardon the changing of the background, and whoops. Here we go. Here are the 4 sites of or 5 sites. The first one's not in the screen. But there's these sites that have these geoglyphs. And what are these geoglyphs? They are these lines that he measures the length of the line and the degree angle of the line, and then plots them out as these radials, and correlates that they actually map out to all the other ancient sites around the world. So what I'm going to be doing is trying to find these lines, these geoglyphs, and confirm that they are actually these man-made megalithic lines of stone that are there, and that they are this science. Oh, there we go. We finally got Campbell back. I guess I can.
What would a stream be? Me not
There
getting
we
disconnected,
go.
right?
And it's
Sorry
like I never
about that,
hijacked the
guys.
background or the theme. Campbell is back. Campbell,
Oh
did you have to
God.
take an order for only? Where were you for a few minutes, Campbell? What happened? Oh, too
I've
good.
just had a bit of quick streaming to do, on this new platform I found. It's called OnlyCam. No, I was actually talking away, and then I realized that it was very quiet, and I had no internet, and then I had to restart my whole computer. So I did a really good show for someone. I don't know how far we
Very
got,
good.
so I was talking.
I think we've actually gained gained viewers while you were absent. It's not that your absentee made more people watch, it's that I was able to keep your viewers entertained until you returned, of course.
There you go. Nice. Well done. You are getting professional in your old age there, Bernie.
Indeed. Trying.
Should we, how far do I get? Do we want to have a bit more of a look at the stars? Did everyone like the stars? How are people
Might
enjoying
as
that?
well. But maybe should we check out some we've looked at so much of the North American ruined ones. Take a look at the pristine natural ones in Holland and Denmark quickly, just to compare, to show the canals that we're talking about, and the different waterways for the new viewers that might not have seen it as in depth before.
Yeah, okie dokie. So I shall share again. I was wondering why my resolution on Google Earth was getting really bad. And I'm like, and then it's because I wasn't even connected to the internet. I'll see, I've still got my thing. Okay, let's go. So what we shall do, and you can almost see as well, just while we're out here, the old coastline, right? And how much it's sort of been the land's
Right?
changed there.
And look at the depression right off of the southwestern tip of Cuba there. Yeah. And like apparently that's where there's that giant sunken pyramids in Sunken City off of the coast of Cuba. It's right down there where it looks like something just.
Well, that looks like more like a triangle than Bermuda, right?
Right.
Where are we going? We're going to Europe. Okay. So, well, this is just for reference. So this is Russia. So if we come up, where was it? Up here?
I think this
where
is
all the ones in the water down here.
Yeah.
No. Yeah, down here with all the stars. Yeah. Okay, so come on, Google's.
It's like this is now an active crime scene after Nord Stream 1 and 2. You cannot do
yeah, right. We're in the country that I'm not supposed to be able to look here. You are in enemy territory. Okay, so there we go. So see the shape there? That kind of that one's
bang
a bit half
on,
sunk.
Campbell. That is identical. That one was identical.
So is that one? Come on. Fort Alexander. I don't think that's a good one. I think this one over here is a good one. Oh my God, Google. Oh my God. Yeah, so see, like, yeah, these, right? We've got this triangle one that we see, and see how it's got the 1, 2, 3 sides at the bottom.
Almost the exact same shape as the ones on those American rivers. Like, pretty much identical.
And here, so that's a bit different, that one. But yeah, they just, and this is what you start to see, just the same design. And this is one of the round ones that you see everywhere. I think there's a couple of these in Britain. Oh my God, Googles. Oh my God. Yeah, see that, the sort of half toroid sort of shape?
Right, and it's a shame it's not letting us zoom in today. Because usually you see how much brick and wall it's built up, and that like these things are acknowledged. The ones out here are acknowledged to be like 16, 15, even hundreds, some even older, I think. But, like especially the ones off of like
still connected. Yep, cool.
Yep.
There's another one, and you can see this bottom bit's gone under the water.
Right.
I mean, clearly. And this again, right? This bit here. See this squared off bit? Right, now they've done something here, so I don't know if it was bigger, but if you see this as a square, I mean, that's what we see in China, right? The Lost City, and
no,
the one that we got last time.
Every time.
Not the one in what's it in Malaysia,
Cambodia.
I want to say Kuala Lumpur.
Angkor Wat. There we go. Angkor Wat. Just like Angkor Wat and just like the Forbidden City. Those, and I think also the Japanese royal city too.
Where's Angkor Wat? Japanese as well. Oh yeah, right. The Forbidden City. Yeah, okay. Is that what it is? Oh no, is the Forbidden City China? No, what's it called?
Royal City or the Royal Palace, I think is what it's called in Japan.
Emperor's Palace?
Yeah, I think you got it. Angkor Wat? CJD got us good. We forget it every time. It's Angkor what?
What?
Oh, look at those canal systems.
Oh wow. Oh my God. That's a full-on star. Look at that. Yeah, right.
Oh, like the moat within the moat.
Such a star. That's, yeah, wow, man, that's cool. I'm going to have to star it. What's it called? Imperial Palace?
Imperial Palace.
Yes.
Uh-oh. It's the Imperial Stormtroopers. Or so they'd have us believe.
Oh, no.
And look at how many canals are still coming off of that main river and canal throughout this area. And that this city right here, guaranteed, is this in Tokyo or a different prefecture? But that the old star map of this city, every single one of those roads was a canal now. Or then.
Doesn't say.
Not so much
Yeah.
anymore.
I mean, look at this man-made shoreline. I mean, ridiculous. What's the other one called? Gorayuku. Oh God, Gorayuki.
I have no idea.
Star. Yeah. Let's just write Citadel. Let's see if that comes up. United States Fleet. What?
Oh, that's the home of the 7th Fleet, the U.S. aircraft carrier base.
God, that's very old world too. And look, what do we have offshore here?
Just a random man-made island with nothing left on it today.
Pretty much. I wish I could. Now I want to find the other star. Okay, so we'll go to Europe. Is that where we were going?
Yeah,
Yes.
we were going.
So this is no, that's not Europe.
There
This
we
is
go.
Europe. Yes, here, yeah. So we're upside down. So let's do
Here's the
that.
craziest lands of the Starfort lands. And like, look at it, its coast too has that artificial the whole way, and then look at those canals going through.
Yeah, exactly. So these are all man-made canals. I mean, clearly, because look, they're completely straight and equidistant. Looks like we've just got maybe the remnants of a star in someone's field here. You sort of see the outline of a thing there. And we're in what is this? Netherlands, Denmark, somewhere
One
like
or the other.
We're in a Viking country. So there you go. There's a big star for you.
Right, and it's like here you can see the different canals starting to get overgrown and the different like ponds that form off of them in the same shapes that we were talking about all along the eastern seaboard of the US. And for those that had never seen this sort of thing before, you're like, yeah, whatever, dude. Now you'll start recognizing the patterns and seeing it, and like, this is nothing yet.
Right, and then down here, and like we were saying, so here's one star. We've got this canal, dead straight, man-made, straight to another star. And then no doubt you could follow it this way and you find, I don't know what's going on here, but that looks suspiciously like there was, I mean, you can see all these earth mounds, all these earthworks. All right, so suspicious. I think there was something else going on here. See all this covered stuff? And then look at the angles on this as well.
Oh yeah, right there. Great leftover star wall. And then we follow the canals inward.
And we find, I mean, and just look at this town. Look at these perfect canals everywhere. And this, you can kind of see, this was a bigger star. Like we've got, you can see it up the top here, these angles, right? These triangles up here. Here's another big one. So actually that looks like that could have been a fort by itself. A triangle fort. And then in here we just have whatever it was built over, but we still get these. See, you can still see the sort of bits of the star here.
The lines in the walls. And it's like, that's not made of dirt. It's all brick and stone. That's the craziest part. And most of it's like, if it's not pure brick, then it's larger megalithic stone in the foundation. The deeper you go, the bigger the works get. Oh, there's the cluster. Now we're getting
down here again. So of course, I mean, look at this place again. You know, look at this.
Yeah, look at the old
man-made canals everywhere. This sort of semicircular shape and the roads and that we see everywhere. It's very old world.
This is the old. That's the old like downtown city of what, maybe Amsterdam or Brussels or something. They're all like that, and you'll see these same layouts from the maps that are 500 years old. That it's like, that's the initial works. Only each road was all water back then there, and that everything else is just built over since or grown over since.
Yeah. You see there's the top of a star. Got a big triangle there. Of course, man-made canals and stuff going everywhere. I mean, just like literally every. I mean, this is probably the most untouched region. You know, definitely that we found is up in these sort of northern areas. I mean, and the whole canal systems are still there. And I mean, look at this, right? They've left them the moat for this massive star, but then they've just built over the middle of it by the looks of it. But you can see a bit of the extra layering. You can see how that was bigger. And again, connected to these man-made canals.
And like, look at the lakes there too that were right next.
The lake, yeah, here like these. Oh, okay, they got an interesting shape too, haven't they? Yeah, right. Look at that. So that's probably, yeah, the flooded moat is probably the remains of a star under there somewhere. Here you can see, look at this, the remains of a moat. And now, so this is, you know, an old world star city is what we're going to see here. So we'll start here. You can see we've got petals, right? See these? 1, 2, 3.
And those are the same shapes as the islands that were both off of the coast in the eastern U.S. seaboard rivers, as well as the Baltic Sea on Russian's coast right there. And it's this petal shape of island they make over and over. The fractal.
So that would be, like the sort of around the main city. And then we get these. Is that a familiar shape? And so these are what I call the sort of satellites, right? Because they're detached from the star city. But as you can see, they make a circuit. See, here's another one. All right, so we've got 1, 2. So if we keep coming round, it looks like there's another one, right? Not marked. Got to mark him.
Guaranteed to find a new one every time you look.
So, exactly. So you can see we've got this shape, right? So I'm thinking this was one, right? Because we can see this curved line. It goes right to this. And if we zoom in, you know, you can see this looks like, I don't know, there's sunken or something's happening, but it looks like it's an old one as well, right? You can see the shape there. Maybe it was that one, but so we have this ring. I haven't looked this side, but it comes up around to here. Here we have another one. All right, and then the circle. I mean, there's one. I think this is one here too. Clearly, we're missing one in the middle. Yeah, that is one clearly. Okay, there you go. And then across to here. Oh, this is a star wall. Okay, so that's not, so they must go up then to like here somewhere. But that's just to show that this is the design. They have, see this, we've got this ring, right? This ring of star satellites. Well, that's what, that's what I'm calling them. We have the star here. You can see the outer wall of the star. And then up here, see here. See the top, that's the top of the star, the old star city. You can see that? And it would have come down and you can see the bottom of it as well. So that would have been a bit sort of connected into the city, but coming out of it. So the whole, star would, like the city would have been over to this canal and island, basically.
Yeah,
like this area.
And we were looking in these old maps, and it's like every single block or like little block of land, your house is only a block away from the closest canal throughout these entire cities back in the day. Like it's just nuts.
Yep.
And that we see the little ones left, but every little line of green space or road that you now see, that's a filled in former canal that was part of this ancient system.
Yep. And just remnants everywhere. Can you see that? And when you look at enough of this, you start to get an eye for it. But can you see this? All right, we've got these angles up here. We've got a bit of the old moat down, across another bit of the old moat. So that's the top of an old star. Can you see that?
Yeah, right. And then you got the lines of trees that are now growing in over the rest of the moat, cutting it off. Yeah.
Down here. All right. So this stuff is just, we're literally living on the old world.
Campbell, are you still there? Did we lose Campbell again? Am I still here? We're on the foundations of the old world. That's the key. It's all built off of the old realm. I'm guessing Campbell will figure out that he is no longer in and will rejoin us in a second. But hey, trust the science, all right? Also, trust the science. Got to be able to mock ourselves. Otherwise, it's just no fun. Now let's play a little one until Campbell gets back.
Being autodidactic, the self-educated on what's actually out there.
He's trying to rediscover, research, remember. With what's gone on in the last few years, it's like, can we really trust the information we've been given about anything? If they're not going to tell us what's good for us, for our mental and physical well-being, then why would they tell us the truth about where we came from? Because that's the biggest thing, is people don't want to believe they've been lied to. Obviously no one wants to be lied to. And then the next bit after that is, they would never do that to us. The government loves us, but does it really? Because we trust the science. Like literally, they put on a front for us on their Tell Live Vision, where they have their cast and they do a broadcast from Hollywood with their little holly wands. But it's just a front, right? Just like they put on the buildings, it's just a front.
We used their foundations and then covered it with a facade. Catastrophism used to be taught in higher education as the geology. It wasn't the crustal displacement theory, it was catastrophism, and that there was many resets. So we're just starting to put the pictures back together and the maps and trying to add everything up because so much has been deleted.
Tartaria. Where did it come from? What's the real story?
It seems like, and there's a lot of, debate about the word Tartaria, and of course, we use it because
it's a topic, that's a word people know, but it's the old world. But the more we look into this, I mean, Tartaria, basically in the old encyclopedia says it was basically the whole northern hemisphere at one point. So it seems that it was not a country as we think of them, but more of a civilization, I guess, where there was independent countries, but they were all sharing the same information and technology and working together. Yeah, and then basically over time, during catastrophes, it got broken apart, and those people who like to take advantage, shall we say, sort of jumped in and stole it all.
It's the same civilization, that same Slavic civilization and technology and whatnot, or group that later was Tartaria, and then I guess broke apart. It would have been right before the World Wars, right? That would have been the last remnants being wiped out.
You know, the censorship that we see now, that's a book burning. That's just the book burning, but done on the internet.
Burn it.
Time. You know, and the calendars and the dates, we know they're always flipping calendars around, right? You know, from Julian to Gregorian. You know, we talked about the Slavic calendar being, you know, in the year 7000. We know that Judaism is in the year 5000 somewhere. You know, all these different dates, and we're told we're in the year 2022. But are we? And what does that even mean? Right? How can we be in the year 2022 if someone else is in the year 5000 and something, and someone else is in the year 7000, right?
Right, the grand cycle, and why so many ancient civilizations paid so much attention to it, and measuring the megalithic structures that have lasted throughout all of time. That's the grand celestial calendar to this day. And it's why they're trying to have this great reset yet again right now, because everybody's waking up, so they want to try to erase it all over again.
Don't ever try this at home. All right. Well, Cam did come back in, but it looked like he left again. Maybe it was trouble. Maybe he thought I was ending. We are getting to that point. Should we end it? I think it's getting close. I'm going to play one last Brucey bonus for all of you until if Cam comes back. If not, after the bonus, we'll call her a night, a day, wherever you are. But one more, a shout out to Olaf the Svirker, a great channel that we've gotten a lot of sources material for Star Forts and different megalithic stuff. And this one is going to be his Dolmens of Siberia episode. And me and Campbell will be doing an episode strictly on dolmens, probably with Paul Cook. Will be the next episode that we'll tackle, or part of the next episode we'll tackle, because as after talking to Paul and understanding the geopolymer technique and technology, and then looking at these dolmens that are all over the world, and they're all dated to at least 5,000 to 7,000 years old, where lots of them are stated that they're most likely 10 to 20,000 years when they're trying to be accurate with it or honest with it. But these Siberian ones are also extremely large. So let me know what you think, but I'm starting to think they're most likely made out of geopolymer. Oh, first you get to see Olaf the Svirker's page with all of his great videos, and we're playing this one right here, Giant Megalithic Structures of Russia Dolmens. But I highly recommend checking out his Star Forts along hundreds of miles of ancient wall, and the other ones. This is the groundwork that we used for the Great Wall of Tartaria. But without further ado, here's the dolmens coming for all of you.
Picky.
Oh,
come on, you're not
stupid
picky.
Ads. Stupid ads. One day I'll be able to afford YouTube Premium. But until that day, I'm sorry, we all have to suffer the ads. Oh, 2 ads. Come on, YouTube. Just killing me here, hey? Just killing me, they are. Alright, so you can still hear me. Is the ad ever gonna end? I don't.
Look at another one of Russia's fantastic and mind-boggling megalithic structures, and that is the dolmen. And to start us off, we have what is known as the Sarsky Dolmen in the North Caucasus Mountains. Now, a dolmen, according to mainstream sources, is an ancient megalithic tomb, usually made up from 2 or more vertical megaliths supporting a large slab on top. Official historians tell us that these dolmens are usually dated on average to the Neolithic period, some 5,000 to 6,000 years ago. And you can see yourself the level of effort that would have went into creating these structures in a time without power tools or machinery is absolutely absurd. Despite being claimed to serve no other purpose than a tomb, the very same people who created these heavy structures left no record as to why, when, or how they were created. The Wikipedia entry for dolmens themselves state that although they are thought to be tombs, no clear evidence exists to support this theory. And this is vindicated by the lack of remains found inside, and that clearly demonstrates that this theory is false. In this Sarsky dolmen, we can see the level of effort that has went into this construction with engravings on the outside and on the inside. And just look at the size of these slabs. The top slabs of some of these dolmens weigh absurd weights, upwards of 35 tons. Now, these dolmens are found all over the world. However, this video is specifically going to look at those found in Russia. I believe the ones in Russia provide the perfect example of this impossibly difficult to build structure. You can see the patterns on the inside of these dolmens here. This is, again, the Sarsky dolmen in the North Caucasus Mountains. In Russia alone, there are 3,000 of these dolmens. However, the vast majority of the best preserved ones, like I said, are to be found in the North Caucasus Mountains. However, only about 6% of these dolmens have to date been studied or excavated, and a lot of them to this day lie in ruin. This is the top of the Sarsky dolmen, and you can see that it has existed in a state of disrepair for quite some time, but it was obvious to see that this at one point was a bigger structure than what we are seeing now. This is right next to the Sarsky dolmen, and this is what is known by mainstream scientists as a composite dolmen, meaning that it's made up of individual blocks. Now, these blocks have been cut and shaped absolutely perfectly and fit together almost perfectly. And like I said, most of these dolmens, if not all of them, feature this small central core, the opening to the inner dolmen. This is to the left of the Sarsky dolmen. This is what is known today as the Sarsky dolmen facilities. You can see that it lies in ruin. So in the 90s, a Russian scientist attempted to put this dolmen back together. And despite having the advantage of heavy machinery and modern mathematics and tools, he was unable to do so. Repeated attempts made no success, and there was still quite large gaps left in between this dolmen, and as such, it's been left how it was. You can see how it stands today. The gaps in between these blocks are minuscule. The fitting of these blocks is almost perfect. And for some reason, cats appear to like these dolmens considerably. When I was looking at photographs and searching for dolmens, there seemed to be an abundance of cats in these photographs. This is 200 meters south of the Sarsky dolmen. So most of these dolmens lie in clusters or complexes, what are known as dolmen complexes. And 200 meters south of the large Sarsky dolmen that we've seen, we have this dolmen. And think of the way that went into moving these blocks. They are absolutely immense, never mind the cutting and shaping of these blocks, which has been attributed by modern historians to bronze. Bronze tools apparently did all of this. And you can see we're not getting the full story of what these domains originally looked like because the structures surrounding them lie in ruin. Now, according to Russian legend, the domains were created by giants, who upon seeing the small and weak dwarves being incapable of creating their own structures, they took pity of them. They split giant rocks which were carried down the mountains and assembled into dwellings for the grateful dwarves. These dwarves then rode into their new houses atop the back of hares. In this legend, the giants created these domains exist.
The interesting holes in them, right? They're the same as we saw in those stone anchors in Florida.
And like I said, these domains are found
exactly my same thoughts, Campbell.
So here's another ruined domain just south of the Saskia domain.
And the legend is giants, right?
And again, look at the size of the
Interesting.
box.
Yes, you need ad block. Do you use Brave? Apparently Brave has one built in, but I find Brave is weird. It keeps wanting you to identify yourself. Yes, hello everyone.
You made it back.
Yes, Sherry, I'm back. Yes, the interwebs was being white supremacist to me and kept kicking me off. So I'm now streaming off my phone. So I'm hotspotting. I've beaten that. I've gone right the back door.
Oh,
man.
That might cost you, man. Starting at the beginning of your month, you're going to use your
No, it's actually cool, man. I'm on Felix, if anyone's in Australia. $35 a month, unlimited. I went away for 5 days. I went away for 5 days and I streamed. I like the whole time. I just streamed off my phone, hotspotted, and didn't run out of data. So I just kept going.
That's
Australian dollars, mate. Yeah.
So
I mean,
jealous.
at this rate, with my bloody house internet, I might just disconnect the house and just stream off my phone. I hotspot off my phone constantly, right? It's a better connection.
Doubt. Legitimately.
And I mean, and how can that be, right? How can my phone work and it's, not connected to anything and it's coming from God knows where? How can that work better than something
a router that's
like 2 meters
in a
away
room
from
next to you?
Yeah,
right?
Exactly right. What the hell?
Oh, it doesn't make sense.
Tech 222 star, was it 2022? It is. Oh, and you hit 2222 in 2022. Imagine if it was
all
February.
twos.
Yeah, well, twos, right? So everyone's going up. A lot of the channels are starting to grow. I've seen there's a few other channels come out. I've seen one called Old World. I can't remember. It's not Old World Florida, but Old World something.
Scary Old World?
Some videos. So there's a lot of... No, another one with Old World. There's lots of Old Worlds now. Everyone's going Old World instead of Tartaria.
Old World is trending in the new world.
It is, man. It is. So, the more the merrier, right? So support your local creator. Let's get this information out there because this is how we can make people stuff. Let's talk about fun stuff.
Oh, we still got you.
Old World Florida. Yeah, 10K, yeah. So Old World Florida hit 10K yesterday, I think. And had a stream this morning, which was pretty good. He's a pretty interesting, knowledgeable guy. And he did a stream as well, I saw with, who's the tarot guy? Robert Phoenix? Interesting.
Yeah, it was very good. I was watching that too.
Do not try this. Yeah, and that's good advice, unless your name is Cam, of course. If your name is Cam, then go for it and come to the site and start streaming. Of course, you're not allowed to use microphones because it's only cams, right?
Oh, I love it. And then
people are going to start Googling that. Where is this site? Where is it? Is it .au?
Only Cams becomes the highest trending search on Google. Nobody can find Only Cams.
It's hilarious. We should get it trending on Twitter. So what are we doing then? How far did we get? Do we want to try the Googles again? What do we think, people?
I'm ready to
burning.
hit the hay if you're done. It's 2 a.m. here, and I was actually up at 9 a.m. this morning, so it was actually a long, real day for Bernie today.
Bernie's burnt out. He's got his burnt out Bernie. He's got
burnt
his
out
colloidal.
Bernie.
Is that colloidal?
Yeah, so this one is mostly silver and zinc that I'm drinking the colloidal water of. And I've been I saw my parents, my mom about 4 days ago and my dad about 5 or 6, but like I was exposed to them for like a day or two while they came down with COVID each, and then nothing myself, and have just drinking the water and no signs of illness. So heck yeah.
Good o. There you go. You blue blood, you. Got the silver in there.
Right, just that, the monoatomic.
And so what is atomic?
We are 1 hour 40 minutes in. 1 hour 40 minutes in.
1 hour 40 minutes. So
I've got a stream, or we've got a stream, I think, with Stellium 7 in the next Thursday. I'll be doing it. Benjamin Balderson with Odin's Alchemy I'll be doing this weekend.
Nice.
Tomorrow I'm back with Rex on Leak Project tomorrow evening at 8 p.m. my time. We're supposed to do Stuffed Beagle again, maybe on the round table that we will do. And I tried out competitive watermelon eating on camera today for Richie and the Magic Tree House, a wonderful channel, wonderful stream. 007 got to see me stuff watermelon into my face, and sure enough, Amber loves watching competitive eating, and she tuned into that stream from work.
Competitive watermelon eating. There you go. I think that could become a thing. That could definitely trend on TikTok.
If only they'd give me my
after we get
back.
Oh, that's right. You got done off TikTok too, didn't you?
Yeah. Hopefully I'll get all my channels back one day.
Oh, I have not read The Soul of the White Ant. Is it good? Squirrel. Oh, I saw Squirrel Sniper live on the Magic Tree House. So there you go. We better let Bernie go because he's falling asleep there. So who wants to stay on? I'll stay on for another 20 minutes if anyone wants to.
Sounds good, brother.
But Bernie will be back, and so oh gosh, I don't think I put your links below. Crypto Alchemist, is that Benjamin's channel?
Yes, I am the Crypto Alchemist, and Burn
or is he on yours?
That we're still figuring out. That I taught him 3 hours worth of how to use StreamYard the other day, so maybe it'll be on both. It might be on both, actually.
Yeah.
Indeed. All right. Well, on that note, I love you all. And,
in the future. So we can say goodbye to Bernie. Dream well.
Bye. Thank you. I'll be watching Campbell like the rest of you, just from the YouTube live chats. We'll catch you on the next one, brother. And before I go, make sure you sign up for this one right here. It's only $29,000 a month, and you can have all you want. And remember, kids, stay out of school because alchemy's cool.
No, Professor. All right. Yeah, Bertie will be in the chat in about 300. Brian would have seen his garden. I hope it's not only cams. Can't wait for you to see what is in my garden or what I see in my garden. What do you see in your garden? All right. Later, Bernie. How is everyone? The only cams chocolate cams minivan. What if sin was destroyed? Oh, I don't know. What is sin, right? What is sin? If you look at the Bible, sin pretty much says when you changing your biology, right? Like, kind of sounds like genetic, manipulation is sin, or I don't know, medical stuff in general. Where are we? Let's talk about giant books. Talk a little bit about giant books that have been found and now hidden away. Any ideas on them? Yeah, we got heaps of them. That map I show a lot, the 1490, God, what is it? 1597, the planisphere, the 10-foot planisphere. I mean, that's 10 foot, right? That came clearly from a big book. And when I was in Melbourne, Kelly and I went to the National Library and we saw one. We saw one of these books. Oh gosh, I can have a look if I can see if I can find the photo, but and it had one of the maps in it, right? The maps that we show all the time, these maps of a star city. It was France, I think. But now I'm going to have to try and find it, aren't I? Which is going to be boring if you guys are just watching, but maybe I can talk and do it. But giant book, yeah. So giant books, I think, are just leftovers, right? From bigger people are going to have bigger books, because these books are, they're big. I mean, we have big books, but they're big, right? Big. Oh, hello, Bernie. Bernie's in the chat. There you go. There is a dolmen on Gower. What's Gower? And a dolmens would be a good topic to talk to Paul Cook about as well. There's no such thing as sin. It's another man-made concept to keep people in fear. Yeah, I think the way that they talk about sin today, definitely, that we're, but I think I've looked into the word sin and the etymology and stuff, and I mean, sin, as far as the word sin comes from Christianity, but there's all different variations of it. But it seems to do with genetic manipulation. It just does. I may be wrong, but then we have all these stories, right, of things being corrupted and all these weird monsters and the cryptoids and all that kind of stuff. So who knows? But as far as we're born bad people, and that's complete crap. As far as this, they're trying to push we men and women are the problem down here. That's complete crap. Obviously. Don't forget, nothing is real. Here, nothing is real here. Yeah, I mean, it's interesting, right? How much is real? Do we create everything? And even if we don't, we see everything from a different perspective, from our own perspective. Lots of Campbell's castles. So yeah, I mean, what's real, right? I think that the realest thing is what we want to create, right? Spend time on that. And castles, when I was talking with Old World Florida, he was saying that, and it's written down as, in the mainstream, that a lot of the buildings down there are poured. They're geopolymer. And then, of course, he said castles, right? Cast. The casts, like the castles are being cast, poured. So that's interesting. Campbell, my brain is trying to wake. Lol, coffee. Oh, okay. Wake up. We are the answer. I agree. The way out is in. They equal debt with. Yeah, well, that's another one. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I've seen that as well. And there's that whole thing that in the old days, all debt or sin was forgiven every 7 years, which is interesting. That's no longer the deal, right? Oh, Israel is real, is it? Isis Ra, El. Interesting, isn't it? When I researched the word sin years ago, it seemed to come from the word meaning sense, as in the five senses. Oh, interesting. That's kind of like the Gnostics, right? And the Cathars and these types of, what's the word? Thought, belief systems, believe that, the world was the creation of the demiurge or the devil. So your sins would be how you perceive that world. So exactly right. I mean, I can see where that comes from. I've seen a cryptoid, a Yowie. Nice, Lady Tam Tam. Yeah. Got any photos? There's been, and what is a Yowie? Is it like a Bigfoot? Or is it just like a little chocolate thing that you buy in the shop? We like big books. We do. I like big books, and I can't lie. You other fella can't deny. When a girl walks in with a really big book, and that doesn't make sense. When a girl walks in and she's really, really smart with a big book in her arm, I'm having a forgetful moment. Oh, Joy, how you going? I can't remember if they were allowed. I'm sorry for jumping into your conversation. Hello, Alan Meyer Jensen. Isaiah, but he was wounded for our transgressions. He was bruised for our inequities, and the chastisement of our peace was upon him. And with his stripes we are healed. Oh, well, there you go. Who was wounded for the transgressions? Was this supposed to be about Jesus? Because isn't Isaiah from the Old Testament? I'm not really sure what that means. I'm not a Bible scholar. I haven't read the Bible, front to back, but I've read lots of it and lots of the what are they called? Non-canon books. Sorry, jumping in. Heal Fido. Yes. Fido. Remember Fido? Fido Dido? Who's old like me? Cast. One poor, thus I cast. And cast L, right? Cast El is obviously the gods, Elohim. Oh my gosh, there's lots and lots and lots. I'm way behind on the comments. Sin is Akkadian moon god. Oh, well, there you go. And of course, the moon is Eve, right? Evening. And Eve was the one who apparently bit into the apple, right? Sin, the original sin. So that's interesting too. I mean, all this stuff is everything's connected, right? It's all the same story. Oh, sorry. Was all debt not scrapped at the Jubilee? I don't know. Was it? I've heard of the Jubilee. I know it's something in the Bible, but I don't know what it was. In the USA, if you don't pay a debt for 7 years, it goes away. Oh, there you go. I think they still have that. I think that is still in Australia. Like if it goes, to a debt collector and they can't collect on it, I think that is true. So it is, there you go. It is still kind of functioning. So I think the lesson there, guys, is loan lots of big money and run away for 7 years. No, do not take that advice. It's very bad. What about sin eaters? Oh, how do you eat sin? What's a sin eater? The dichotomy came from the fall. Well, yeah, what was the fall? I mean, the fall, right? I mean, this is, yeah. What was the fall? Who were the fallen angels? Was that us? Was that someone else? Was it just a conscious thing? Was it a reset? This is what we try and find out. What the Flock TV channel for all breakdown of the words. Indeed. Thank you, Hippie. Yes, go and check out Paul on What the Flock and learn about all this stuff, including Janos, the two-faced god. Bad people give money to the re-lie generation, yeah, and legion, right? Legion. Legion is in like an army. And of course, they used to have, what is it? The Salvation Army. The army? That's a bit weird. Yeah, I mean, I heard once, I've never been able to confirm it, but someone told me once that religion meant to bring oneself back to the self, but I haven't been able to confirm that. Apparently it was Sanskrit or something. But yeah, religion, the problem with religion is they tell you all the answers are outside of you. You've got to listen to other people, right? Not think for yourself, not make your own decisions. Adam Forrest, oh, sorry, I'm jumping into people's conversations. How rude of me. Body is renewed every 7 years. Yeah, good point, Andrea, it is. That's what they tell us, that every cell in our body has been replaced every 7 years. Away with the elephants. What have you got against elephants? Remember effalumps? Effalumps were cool. Lots of people claiming authority over spiritual matters or special information about the simulation. So kind of hard to, yeah, well, we don't know exactly. And the thing is, it's all, on top of that, it's all perspective as well. Yeah, so, I mean, I think it's some kind of simulation. I don't know exactly what that is, whether it's a dream, but clearly if we can create things, right, through our thoughts, and doesn't that kind of make it a simulation of some kind? Whether that means we're on a holodeck or not, I don't know. But yeah, and it's also very hard, from being the perspective inside, right, to know what's outside, because all our perspective is just from what's inside here. So to try and understand what's outside from that perspective is pretty hard. But we try. We're getting there. If you don't sin, Jesus died for nothing. It's one way to look at it, right? Oh, what's your ringtone? Time to wake up, stand up, and exit stage right. Exactly. I wasn't able to get one at the time, and I was actually not expecting it at the time. Oh, the yowie. So are they big, hairy, Bigfoot type animals? I still don't really know. I mean, I haven't really looked into yowies. I know about them. Just JP, they're thinking of scrapping their debt because Lizzie's dead. Yeah, well, is the Vatican, what's the date? Yeah, it's past the date. The Vatican wanted all their money back. I wonder if they got it. Jesus is a savior, so they can keep you in victim persecuted. Savior triangle. Do you know they love triangles? Yeah, they do love triangles. And definitely, waiting for someone to come and save you, that's definitely a trap that keeps you as a victim, right? I mean, that's the definition of victim. Not thinking you can get up and do something for yourself and waiting for someone to do it for you. That's unfortunately the story, right? Waiting for the sun. Waiting for the sun. All right, I'm going to skip down the comments a bit because I'm way. Jesus died for nothing if you're a nihilist or a Satanist. Oh, maybe. And I mean, who was Jesus? Was he even real? And if he was, even have the right story? Because the thing about the Bible is we know it's been so corrupted, right, and edited, everything else, and edited by people who then go out and start wars and kill people who don't follow what they say. Almost gave him a wrench. Oh, who got a wrench? Double kick, jig. Oh, karate girl. Aussie Sasquatch is called a yowie. So it is, okay, it's like a big hairy dude. Because they have them everywhere. They have one like redhead, kind of like orangutans, apparently. They call them, I think, the Bushmen or something. Probably not in English, but, and then, so I think they're on every continent. And these things keep going, Randall was forced to believe in swamp-wild ways. Yes. There are wood people in America, bearded females. The more animal like Sasquatch, the Alma people of Russia. There you go. Apparently, I mean, and well, there's tribes of big people, you know, giants as well. Apparently, there's one up in Estonia. No, it's not Estonia. Up near Russia, but on the continent. The Tartarian flag should have been a hawk. Yes. Jesus, Jesus built my heart right. Good song, right? Jesus is just all right, right? Is that the song? Jesus is still all right. Tartarian flag has an hour, yeah. Yeah, or definitely not sure if that's their state flag. Oh, they definitely use the double-headed phoenix as well, and other stuff. We've been there. The same as Bigfoot. Okay, cool. I have been educated. 12 is prominent in the Bible. It is. It's very prominent, right? 12. What are they called? Disciples. And then this is why a lot of people say it's an astrological book. The 12 of the zodiac that follow the sun across. Well, that follow the sun, right? Jesus, the sun. Yowie plus Snuffleupagus plus bear equals gobbledog. Oh, gobbledogs. Yeah, right. Gobbledogs. What did they used to eat? Chips, was it? Gobbledogs. Whatever happened to gobbledogs, man? Absolutely, of the apostles in the constellations. Yes. No, right? No, well, flags are about division. Flags are about saying I'm different to you. We definitely don't need those multicolored ones in stripes either. The Last Supper painting, yeah, did it? Yeah, okay. Yeah, actually, I think I've seen a breakdown of the Last Supper painting and yeah, relating them to constellations. Oh my God, I'm so far behind on all these chats. All right, we're coming up on 2 hours, so let's have a few more. Chippies, yes, chippies. Gobble dog. Star signs are a world map. The old waterways, ancient worldwide. Yeah. And I haven't. I don't know if anyone has, but it still would be interesting to see if the stars on the ground match up with the stars in, you know, the heavens, right? As above, so below. That would be interesting, but navigation, power, I mean, I think they were multi-faceted. Jesus is Satan's alter ego. Well, good, bad, right? That's like the little angel devil on his shoulder. The Bible? I think there's a lot of good in the Bible. There's, you know, it's like anything. You just take what you know, resonates, right? That's the catchword at the moment. What resonates with you, you know, whatever makes sense and feel good, you know. And if you're reading a book and it's like, nah, then just stop reading it. Read something different. On all the continents, the furnishings, the books, the art, exactly. It was everywhere. And you look at the old world, the 1700s, see how they were living, what they wore, you know, how they traveled, what was their houses like. Then you look at the 1800s, right? Sort of crap all been stripped, reset. I'm still connected. All right, that's good. Thank you. Yeah, if you do, it just won't work. You want below. Flags divide us. They do. Start off in the classroom. Okay, is my internet failing? I can't click different comments. It is working. All right, I might have to go soon because it looks like my phone's now starting to not. Why am I allowed to stream, man? Apparently, men can have babies. Yeah, right. Exactly. Well, if the internet said it, Bernie, then we know it. There's actually a video out there of these two idiots, and somehow, I mean, I don't know what the story is if one used to be a woman, and but they had a baby, right? Somehow they had a baby, and the dude was like the biological female was was seriously trying to feed this baby. I mean, holy dooly, man! Thank you. Yes, yeah, guys. If you want, if you can just check, I've been having problems. Just if you put your cursor down on the thumb, the one that's pointing up. You can all go and just check for me. When you click it, does it change color? Go and let me know. That would be awesome. Thank you. Helps the algorithm. And of course, leave me comments and all that kind of stuff. All links below. So I'm going to get going soon. Of course, go and head over, check out Bernie's channel. And Bernie will be back soon. I'll be back Thursday, Tartaria, Australia. And tomorrow... who knows? I think I may have something to upload. I may not. I can't remember. I'm very busy. But I'll be back at some time on a screen near you. So there you go. That's about it. 2 hours on the dot. So thank you for spending, well, actually not 2 hours. I think you probably spent an hour and a half with me, hour and a half with Bernie. So, you know, nice balanced meal there for you. Balanced education, information. So thank you all for being here, guys. Stay awesome. And I shall talk to you all on the next upload. If I can find an outro, right? Let's do this one. Which one did you play, Bernie? I can't remember. All right. Love you all. Talk to you all on the next upload.
Every city basically was a star city. It had these stars around them, but they were all walled, but also somatic shapes. These are the moats, we're told, right? Because we're all taught that castles and, you know, were these square buildings with a moat. But when we can see them from above, there's these intricate somatic patterns, and clearly you can see why we call them star forts, because they look like stars.
So here's one in Portugal, one of the star forts, the huge amount of terraforming around it. Amazingly, this one is still in pretty much pristine condition compared to the destruction of most of the ones you find today.
Piano notes. As you can see, these are all somatic. A sharp, B, C, and they're all these somatic shapes. These are cathedral windows, this fine here. These are, you know, rose windows or all in cathedrals. And these are somatic patterns, which are created through frequency, so either harmonics or intention. Down here we have, this is our DNA, so these are fractals or somatic patterns of our DNA. This is what we get when it's good intention. We get these perfect, you know, geometrical shapes, and when it's bad intention, we get this goo. So this is like a polluted river, and this is like a clean river. And so if we tie this back to the cathedrals that have got these windows, and they're connected to the ether with all these spires, and then what else do we have in cathedrals but these things called organs, right? And we have these things called organs in our body, and we just, the DNA, you know, somatic is the same as some frequencies in these windows. So what this is all looking like is these are you know, healing factories, or not even healing, wellness, I guess, just to keep people well. They're pumping out frequencies.
You can literally Google any city of the old world from the 1600s and back, and it will come up in these star fort shapes, and every single one is like Venice, and there's canals everywhere. Those were the highways of the time, but they were also so much more, with all of like this hidden technology, infrastructure, and buried history.
And you can see this one again, always these big cathedrals in the cities, but here's one of the stars, right, or batteries attached into the wall. And there's even another one of these more sort of big regular shaped ones out here, but they always have these stars attached, you know, to these star cities. And again, the canals, and you know, you can see this is a big iron kind of thing as well. But the thing is with water's free energy. You know, you float a boat, you use the current, right? The current.
How about the water wheel? What are water wheels? Water wheels are harnessing electrical power. electricity just as much as it was the physical power and mechanical power that they used out of it. What's to say that windmills and water wheels weren't actually generating hydroelectric and wind power a few 500 years ago?
This is a drawing. This is New York City, right? Battery Park is because this is what was there, a battery.
Oh, and there we are. Love you all, guys. Catch you next time.